There's a new me coming out, and I just have to live, and I wanna give. I'm completely positive. I think this time around I am gonna do it like you never knew it. Oh, I'll make it through. The time has come for me to break out of the shell. I have to shout that I am coming out. There's a new me coming out.
Welcome to the show, Never Too Late Ever, where we focus on making the next chapter of your life the very best chapter ever. I am your host, Lorraine Hoving, and I am so glad you are joining us today. This day could change your life. Open your heart, open your ears, and listen. You may find a gem, a treasure, if you apply to your life today, might change your life. So be open. Glad you are here today. And I'm back here with my guest from last week, and she is just a delight and on fire. Her name is Tonya Telesco. Hi, Tonya.
Hello, Lorraine. Thank you for having me.
Welcome back. So let me tell you really quickly a little bit about her, because I want to just start this show because it's going to be exciting. Tonya Telesco is an inspirational speaker, author, and human behavior expert dedicated to empowering women to find their voice, build better relationships, and follow their dreams. Doesn't that sound all wonderful? Through speaking, workshops, and resources, her hunger to infuse women with passion and purpose is contagious, motivating, and fun. She provides proven strategies to move them from comfortable complacency to results that are extraordinary, believing you are never too young to get a vision for your life, and you're never too old to get a better one. Her books include Walking Off Your Map, 7 Keys to an Extraordinary Life, and Be the Exception. While Tonya is passionate about speaking and inspiring individuals to reach their full potential, she loves her husband, Tom, and family even more. They consider the world their office, but call South Lake, Texas, home. Welcome back.
Thank you, Lorraine. Excited to be here.
All right, let's dig right in, because I'm excited about this one. She has entitled this show, Your Second Act. And I'm all about like your second act, about making this time in our life the very best time. So what do you look like at Tonya? What do you consider our second act?
Well, I think it's being realistic that there are seasons in our life. And yet at this specific season that every woman and every person is in, there's a very significant role that they have to play. And so sometimes, I know a lot of women have children, and then when the children grow up and leave home, they have found so much of their identity wrapped up in raising children that they don't know who they are and why they're here.
True.
And so it's really helping them reinvent their life to fulfill the purpose that they have right now. And, and I meet a lot of women who are so supportive of other people's dreams, but they question the validity of their own, or they don't even know what that is. So, yes.
And sometimes I think that is related to self-worth. I remember when my kids grew up, I had given everything to be their mother. I had homeschooled, I'd done all these things. And when they left home, because they left within a year of each other, it was like, oh my gosh, it's like I didn't even know who I was. But I want women to know out there, if you are in that season, you still can know who you were. I just had not developed, done some personal work on my self-worth. And so I think finding our voice in all those seasons, we can do it, but we have to realize that we are worthy and we are uniquely created. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And until women really know who they are, can they really understand and identify what it is that they can do and accomplish? And the more you know who you are and believe in yourself, that's when extraordinary things begin to happen. And that's a journey. It's not one that ever ends.
Right,
as we
right,
both know. But it is a journey,
right.
absolutely.
Right. So you're saying we never arrive. We're just always, this is how I look at it. I'm always evolving what I learned last week, and then I'm learning more this week. And it's so excited if you keep yourself open, uh, what you can learn and how you can evolve with what your mission and passion are. So how would you define passion?
Passion. Well, I know that the definition I shared that's out of the dictionary, but it says an intense, driving feeling of enthusiasm or excitement about something or doing something. And I'm not talking about romantic passion. However, it's so interesting, Lorraine, because it has some of the same qualities.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they don't know what they're passionate about, and they're kind of like the Walking Dead because they just don't know how to live full out.
Right.
From something that's burning in their heart. So,
Right.
yeah, I think passion is what fuels us. It is the fuel to what our purpose is.
Yes, and people don't know how to get there, so I'd like you to tell them real quickly about your free gift, because that could help them if there's somebody out there just thinking, oh man, I'm just lulling myself to sleep, and so this is called your second act. So tell them about your free gift that you're offering them so that they could maybe look that up and that could get them on beginning on their journey.
Absolutely. And this was a great step when I was transitioning in my life, because I heard like, oh, passion. Well, that's a really great word. But what I didn't know, Lorraine, is that there are 3 types of passion, or there's more, but the 3 that I share about in this free gift is that there is a general passion that's just kind of like, okay, I like hobbies and to do things that are fun, but it's pretty much about me. There's another passion I talk about that is kind of like, oh, wow, there's starving children in the world and someone should do something about that, but it doesn't stir you up to go and do something about that. And then there is a genuine passion. And a genuine passion is something that if you don't do something about it before you leave this earth, you're going to be very unfulfilled. And so a lot of times, and there's 2 ways that people go about that. I mean, sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, I knew I was born to sing or play the piano or do sports or write books. And some people identify that early on because they just have a leaning and they're fantastic at it. While other people, a lot of times, Lorraine, it comes from a very intense emotional event. I mean, it could have been a father that was alcoholic. It could have been abuse. It could have been things that, maybe serving in the military, but things that just stir you up because of events that happened. So the free download is on my website. It's www.tonyatelesco.com. And there is a guide to help teach you a real short, you can digest it in probably 15 minutes, about the different kinds of passion. And in the back, it's going to ask you some questions and take you through some exercises to help you pinpoint and start that journey of identifying yours. Oh. Because, life without passion, it's just not worth it.
Right.
I've had it for so many years.
Right.
So.
Right. It doesn't get you up out of bed in the morning. You want to hit the snooze button. Oh, another day. But passion gets you up excited. So I would say to the audience, please, this is a generous gift. So go in there. And I love it when my guests have not only a gift like with a video or something, but she also has you go through exercises. And by writing things down, that is really key in order to take action. So I love that. So tell me a little bit, once we've found our identity, and we've got a little bit more clarity on our passion and our purpose, what would be the next step? So say I do your exercise and I feel really strongly about something that I want to do or where I want to have significance in life. What is our next step?
Yes, absolutely. I think getting clarity on that dream is so important, Lorraine. And sometimes I know where people get paralyzed is like, okay, I'm going to take these steps. I got to figure out the how, but you nailed it. First, we got to understand what our why is and kind of identify that dream and not let the how, keep us from moving forward. But the next step, after we do have some of that clarity, is that we have to begin execution. We have to take action. And one of the biggest things that I have learned, and I'm still learning today, is that I've got to give myself a lot of permission to fail. And I heard Sarah Buckley say the other day, she said her father used to ask her every day, so what did you fail at today?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my goodness. I wish I could have embraced that at a young age, because I was so afraid to try new things because I didn't want to mess up.
Right.
And the truth is that we will learn more from our failures than we will ever learn from our successes. And so that last piece that is so crucial is taking imperfect action. So, yes, that will be the next step.
Yes, I love that, because so often we want everything to be perfect. Well, I will do this when everything is lined up. And I have found that perfection is just another sign of actually procrastination. All we're doing is procrastinating because we just think everything we're thinking we want everything perfect, but we also don't want to get into motion. And when you get into motion or action, what begins to happen is you will fail. There will be times you will disappoint yourself and you'll go, oh my gosh, but those are the best learning places where we can take that, what we've learned from that, and then build on that. It's just like speaking. There are times when I've spoken and I'm going, wow, I just didn't quite hit it out of the park. So then I scale back, look at it, and then keep going. So what is the difference between action and actually motion?
Absolutely. That's a great question. So I had learned this. It was through a gentleman named James Clear. And he talks about how motion is when you're like planning and strategizing and learning. And Lorraine, those are all good things, but they don't produce a result. However, action is the behavior that you need to move forward. And they seem similar, but they're completely different. So like, for example, if I search for a better diet plan and I read a few books on the topic, that's motion. If I actually eat a healthy meal, that is action. A few weeks ago, my husband surprised me and he said, hey, sweetheart, he walked in. I said, where have you been? He said, oh, I went to the gym. I said, really? Surprise. I said, well, what did you do? And he said, well, I walked in, weighed myself, and I left.
So that was what you call motion without the action,
that
right?
Motion. So if he had gotten on the treadmill and turned it on and used it, we would have had a little bit of action there. And, a lot of times motion makes you feel like you're getting things done, but actually you're just preparing. And it's so easy to turn motion into procrastination. I love how John Wooden says it. He said, never mistake activity for achievement. And so that's where we need to understand the differences.
Right. And what I like about it is you do need motion because you need to learn about it, but you need both of them together. So the motion should always lead into action. If it's the right next step for you. I love that. What do you think is the biggest misconception about walking into your purpose or dreams? What would be the misconception that people are out there going, I'm not going to do it. I'm fine.
I think, gosh, Laura, I think the biggest one that we just touched on is just fear of failure and not taking action. One thing I have women do when we're together, I say, I want you to write this down in first person. And that is, I am going to start small and messy. And it is your daily agenda that it's going to be the game changer. It's not the big convention.